Okay, let's go.
Okay, enough of the nonsense. Let's get into the charts. So today I'm going to be doing a little bit more education for you guys just to show you how Elliott Wave actually works. So we are still looking at two scenarios, one bullish and one bearish. We'll start off with the bearish scenario where the low is not yet in. Here we have a WXY. In the Y wave, we have an A, B, C structure where the B wave is in about the golden ratio at the moment. And if we come down with impulsive moves to the downside, we could be seeing another low made in this region here, targeting this yellow box at $54,900 to $44,400. On the bullish scenario at the moment, the wave Y is finished. The low is in and we are now seeing bullish impulsive scenarios to the upside. So we have very similar a WXY. Now in a WXY we have all three waves being zigzag structures. So a zigzag is an ABC. So if I were to show you, this would be a WXY. Now, the X doesn't often retrace to about the 0.7 Fibonacci, right? That means we would have a B, C in W, an A, B, C in X, not touching the 0.7 Fibonacci, and an A, B, C in Y. Now, generally, an A wave is a 5-wave move, a B wave a 3-wave move, and a C wave a 5-wave move. So, from off the end of Y, we should now be seeing one of three things. Number one is a double 1-2, one where we have a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, all impulsive moves. This double 1-2 is because there is another 5-wave structure in the wave 3, as we can see here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a 4 and a 5. So that is the one thing we are looking for. The other thing we are looking for is a general impulse, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. The last thing we could be looking for when structures are finished is a diagonal structure. A diagonal structure is a 5-wave move where every single wave is of the zigzag family. So we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, where the top of wave 1 intersects with the bottom of wave 4. So these overlap, as you can see here, overlapping in price action, and these waves are all zigzag structures. So we have an ABC, an ABC, or WXY, WXY, WXY in each of these waves. So what we can see here on the chart today, if we go to the 1 hourly time frame. Now this is our main scenario and the scenario we'll be looking for to do trade possibilities off of. So in this case we have a double 1-2, the first one discussed. We have a 5-wave move up, 3-wave correction, and now the big third wave, a 4 and a 5 to follow. Now in this third wave we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, finishing that third wave possibly, or we have a 1, 2, 3, 4 coming down, and 5. These scenarios will soon be played out, but the main one I'm tracking at the moment is this one on the chart. So we can see here we have completed this wave 1, 2, 3 to the upside and are now in this wave 4. Now there are three structures or main structures that we can see in a wave 4 correction. The first one is a general ABC. So after you would have the 3-wave move up in a 1, 2, and 3, we would be seeing a 3-wave retracement. So a 1, 2, 3, and now in this wave 4 we would have an A, B, and a C. This is the one structure we could be seeing, and then after that the 5. The other structure we could be seeing is something called a running flat. A running flat is where price moves down, up, possibly taking the high of the previous high, and then moves down, not taking this low. This is called a running flat. The last scenario we could be seeing is a expanded flat. Now an expanded flat is where we have an A wave down, a B wave that takes the previous high, and then a C wave down that expands past the first A wave. Now as we can see on the chart, we have something of an expanding flat. The expanding flat having the A wave down, B wave up, hitting the common target for an expanded flat at the 1.38 Fibonacci ratio, and then a C wave to the downside to follow. So we should be seeing a C wave to the downside in the coming hours or the next day or so, possibly going into Thursday, and that will lead to a Thursday wave 4 as often seen, a Friday wave 5, and a weekend wave 4 again as often seen. So the sentiment is indeed there. On other things to talk about, we are still looking at this Elliott Wave channel that has not hit the middle line. We are at the moment at the top of the range, finding some resistance as we can see here. I do expect at some point for us to come down to this middle line. And on the weekly fair value gaps, we can still see that these fair value gaps have not yet been filled out. We have order blocks and fair value gaps that are still left unfilled or even untouched for the order blocks. The yellow order blocks, or the order blocks are yellow, and the fair value gaps on the weekly time frame are gray. There are a few here that you can see and a few more order blocks to the downside. So I do see price possibly reaching down into these fair value gaps at some point in time. But let's see what happens. Now, for trade possibilities from this price action, starting on the 4-hourly time frame, we can still see that this blue 5-wave move is not yet complete. I would wait until this 5-wave move is complete, and then we should see some sort of 3-wave move retracement. This 3-wave move retracement would retrace into a target box that will be measured out on the charts and in the Discord. You can stay up to date there. On the 1-hourly time frame, we can see that price has just hit this B wave high. At the moment, I would wait for price to retrace into this C wave target box sitting at 62,500 to around 59,400. I would possibly take a long from there, targeting that 3rd wave move to the upside. And lastly, on the 15-minute time frame, yesterday you could see that in the 15-minute time frame for trade possibilities, we had a trading of a B wave. B waves are very difficult to trade as they can expand, extend, or fail short. So often I would not recommend to trade a B wave, and in this case I don't either. So I would also, on the 15-minute time frame, wait for price to fall back into the $62,500 to $60,400 range, along from this area targeting the 3rd wave high. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're almost at 100 subscribers, and I'm very excited about that. Also, check out the Discord where I post daily intraday updates where you can keep track of the charts on a more standard time frame. But it's been Max Trades Crypto. Cheers, guys.